Story of an Hour, a literacy analysis by Kamila Garcia, third period, author Kate Chopin. The story is about Miss Mallard, a woman with heart trouble who hears her husband has died. At first she feels sad, but then she realizes she's free and starts to feel joy. In the end, her husband walks in alive. The shock makes her heart give out, showing how quickly everything can change. Thesis. In the story of an hour by Kate Chopin, Miss Mallard's heart trouble isn't just about her health. It also shows her emotions and why the story is split into three parts. Key evidence in historical context. Knowing Miss Mallory was afflicted with heart trouble, great care was taken to break to her as gently as possible the news of her husband's death. Paragraph 1. Back then, women were seen as fragile, especially when it came to emotions. People thought bad news could literally make them sick, so everyone treated them like they had to be protected. Analysis. This connects to the first section because it is about her reaction to the shocking news and how her emotions are too much for her to handle. It also shows how weighted down she is emotionally. Right away, Kate Chopin uses his heart as a symbol to show both weakness and stress. Visual symbolism, section 1, grief. Visual. Miss Mallard's weak heart reinforces the claim the heart shows her fragility and how overwhelming grief can be for her body and emotions. Body paragraph number 2. This section shows her heart reacting to the mix of sadness and excitement, also showing how she feels right away and how her bosom was falling to connect to freedom. In historical context. Now her bosom rose and fell tumultuously. She was beginning to recognize this thing that was approaching to possess her. Paragraph 10. Back then, wives didn't have much freedom since husbands basically controlled everything. This is why Miss Mallard's reaction feels so intense. Having independence was rare for women, so just thinking about it was a big deal. This is important because her heart is not only weak but also tied to her feelings. The way her chest rises and falls down shows how much her body is reacting to emotions as she realizes she has freedom. Visual and symbolism. The open window. The open window symbolizes possibility, hope, and new life that she sees for herself. Just like her racing heart, it represents freedom and change. Body paragraph number 3. The final section proves that Miss Mallard's heart is the reason the story had to be divided into three parts. In historical context. When the doctor came in, they said she had died of a heart disease, of a joy that kills. Paragraph 23. At that time, men didn't really understand women's feelings. The doctor just assumed she was happy to see her husband when really she died from a shock of losing her freedom. Analysis. The heart is what makes the three sections flow together, and without it, the story would not make any sense in the way that it is told. The ending is ironic because the doctor thinks that Miss Mallard died from being so happy to see her husband alive. Symbolism. Section 3. Death. Joy that kills. The final twist with her heart stopping shows the ultimate irony that her heart blossoms, a symbol that ties grief and freedom. Bracketing statement. Miss Mallard's heart trouble is what ties the whole story together. It explains why Kate Chopin broke the story into three sections because each one connects to the stage of her emotion. Kate Chopin uses Miss Mallard's heart trouble to split the story into three parts. At first, it shows how fragile they make her seem to be, and at the end, her heart trouble comes back when she sees her husband alive. That shock is what ends the story. Kate Chopin, The Story of an Hour, Florida Story Sync, Story Edition, Volume 1.